Like most of you, in the last few months, I've had more time cooking at home for my family than ever before. Oh, yes. It's been beautiful. Who's hungry? Oh, here we go. If not a little stressful at times. I've had the chance to look at ingredients that we all buy week in, week out.
Be wobbly.
You can be wobbly. And come up with some new recipes to break us out of our usual habits. It's charring up, it's spitting, it's crackling, using the ingredients we love in totally different ways. Oh, you know that makes sense. To create simple, exciting and affordable meals. Can you imagine how delicious that's going to be? So whether you're feeding a crowd, home alone, getting ready for date night, or with a mob like mine. Sausage pie, look at that. Mind your finger? I can't wait to share these new recipes with you. If you let it into your life, it will be a new favourite, I'm telling you. When you've got hungry mouths to feed, it can be so easy to turn to the same meals again and again. But I've got a dish to inspire you to use the ingredients you love in totally different ways. So in about 25 minutes, I've got my family turning up for some supper, and I want to do a really delicious salmon dish. Now, salmon is something that I have every single week in the fridge, and I've been kind of dreaming up new ways with salmon that I love and that I think my family will love as well. So I'm going to stuff the salmon with the most incredible prawns with a creamy sauce. Such a simple, quick, creamy sauce, a little wrap of bacon. It's gonna be so, so good. Here I've got some new potatoes and carrots that Buddy pulled out from the garden, just boiled. So I'll drain those now. I'm just gonna put some butter in here with the lovely veggies, and let's just forget about those for a second. Now, it's a one-tray wonder, so it's all gonna happen in here. You kind of make it in there, marinate it in there, roast it in there, serve it in there if you want, right? Really, really easy. We're not just going to bring these proteins together, we're going to have some greens as well. And actually, you can do it in a very cool way. So, things like spinach and chard, once you've washed them, will braise down in there very, very quickly. So let me just show you how to add some beautiful flavour to some greens. Get yourself 4 cloves of garlic and finely slice it. Couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Fry it off until very lightly golden. Keep the flavours really sweet and fragrant. Then we'll go in with some beautiful greens. We've got some broccoli here, some beautiful spinach. You could use chard, spring greens, kale, and that's going to create the bed to tuck our salmon into. And just by washing those greens, that residual water is enough to steam the greens. But what's great about starting on a hob like this is we can add flavour and they will catch and go a bit gnarly and crispy in a really good way in the oven. I want to season it with salt and pepper. So turn that off, let's get onto the salmon. So what I want to do is take your average everyday salmon and make it truly spectacular. A lot of people steam it, roast it, pan cook it. I want to stuff it, and it's the easiest thing in the world. So what we want to do is create little pockets. Get a knife, go to the fat part of the salmon, and just gently rock the knife like that, and then we can stuff it and bring some of my favourite flavours together. So first up, creme fraiche. I've got 2 or 3 nice tablespoons in there, and we can really make this incredible by a little salt, a little pepper, and some Parmesan cheese. No flour, no milk, no kind of whisking. A nice little wodge of Parmesan goes in. Mix that up. If you've got things like lemon around, you can scent that with just the tiniest little scrape of zest. And then prawns, these are like standard frozen prawns that I've defrosted. You could use fresh, of course. And my kids just love them. They just love them. So mix that up. Done. Is so fast and so delicious, and probably more classically it would have like a Mornay sauce, which is making a roux, you know, making your bechamel, then sort of flavouring it in some way, shape or form. It's another 25 minutes, do you know what I mean? So this is fast, to the point, and delicious. And I think you need that when you've got a family to feed and other things to do. So look, take your little bit of prawn here and fill it. Try and keep all the nice creamy goodness inside the fish.
You can stuff that with anything you've got to hand. You could stuff it with spinach, crab meat. Now, I know Poppy will like this. I think Buddy should be okay. River probably will kick up about the white sauce. The thing is, you can put a load of effort into things and work all day, and they're like, you know, that's all right. And then you do things really quick and fast, and they're like, oh, that was nice. And you kind of go, okay. Keeping everyone happy is really tough, right? But look, I think this combination is going to stand up. I'm going to just give it a little seasoning with salt and pepper. Now, as I was kind of coming up with this, I was thinking what could make it even better? Well, an answer to that is always smoky bacon. So a little thin rasher of, you know, pancetta smoked bacon is nice. And I want to kind of twist and wave it around as I do it. So it's kind of holding that creme fraiche sauce. That, to me, looks stunning. Just nestle it in there with the lovely veggies. All I'm going to do now is give it a little kiss of olive oil, just to say I love you. So the one last thing to do, herb. You could use any herb like sage, thyme. I'm going to go for rosemary because I just think it's really beautiful and savoury and delicious. And the thing to do is put a little olive oil on the herbs and just have a proper little rub up. And that starts to bring out their natural oils. And then also, when they go crispy, it means you can eat these little leaves. They're a joy to eat. They're crispy and delicious. So rest the rosemary over the fish, and this is just all going to cook together really beautifully. So there you go. If you wanted to, you could pop this in the fridge now, but when you want to cook it, it goes into an oven at 220 degrees Celsius for about 12 to 15 minutes. I want it to be sort of beautifully cooked, but a little bit blushing, and I want the bacon crispy. So let's do this. Okay, with the potatoes, I'm just going to give them a toss in butter. And what I quite like doing, because they're boiled, I'm going to give them a toss in butter, put it on a low heat, and let that kind of keep warm, but slowly kind of get a little bit caramelised on one side. Beautiful. Look at that. That, my friends, is a beautiful traybake. Not just fit for family, but friends, special occasions. It's a beautiful thing. Can you see how all the bits of broccoli have caught in a really nice way, and the leaves go crispy? Little bits of the cream sauce have come out and cooked into those greens. That's only going to make them even more tasty. A one tray wonder that you will not regret doing. Truly delicious. And then these new potatoes and carrots, see how I've let them just catch on one side? Look how lovely that is. Let me just plate my one up, because I'll take this to the table and let them feed themselves. Which one to go for? Let's have this little fella here. Can you see how the greens have kind of gone crispy? You hear that? Delicious. So come on, let's have a little cheeky taste before my mob, they're coming. Lemon juice, always a joy. So, if you look in here, right, we got the rosemary first. You don't have to throw it away, it's not garnished. You can actually just strip off all those lovely, crispy little bits of rosemary, and they taste amazing. Let's get in there. Can you see how lovely and flaky that is? Oh, yes. And it's sort of blushing still. A little bit of bacon. The cream sauce. It's only like a little tablespoon in there. It makes all the difference. By stuffing the salmon, the prawns are protected, the cream sauce kind of pulls in that little pocket. That bacon renders its beautiful fat, so the flavour of smokiness is there. And then the greens, with that kind of crispiness and softness, and the garlic, delicious. Come on, guys! What are you waiting for? Buds, thank you, my boy. Thanks, Pops.
Yeah, there's bacon, there's prawns.
Right, do you like potatoes, River? Point to me which one you want. Which one do you want?
That one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
OK, give me your plate. And you got some broccoli as well.
Are there any prawns?
Yeah, there's prawns right inside. Here, Pep, that's your one. Have you tried how good these carrots are? Buddy picked those.
I'm not the only one in my family who likes to cook. Lately, my son Buddy has been giving me a run for my money.
Sprinkle from a height, Dad says. Apparently it's the rules.
He's been experimenting quite a lot this summer.
One pot!
So I've asked him to show you just how easy it is to knock up some of his favourite little foodie hacks.
Oh, wow. It's really good. I love making pesto, and my dad's taught me so many different ways of making it. You normally make it with pine nuts, basil, parmesan, olive oil, and garlic. But today we're going to make it with sun-dried tomatoes. You're going to need 1 clove of garlic, and you're just going to give that a little chop up. So we just chop it up roughly. You might need an adult to do this for you, or just be really careful to just, yeah, there we go, perfect. And then we can just put it in our pestle mortar, just like that, and give it a little bash up. That's about ready. And now we're going to move on to our sun-dried tomatoes, the main part of this. So what we're going to do with these, we're just going to tear them up, a large handful of them. No worries of how you tear it up, just roughly, just have fun. And we're just going to bash that up with the garlic. Get that into a paste. So you can use a food processor, but I think with the pestle mortar it's so much more fun. And could add a pinch of salt, which I'm going to do. This just makes it easy to bash up, just like that. Instead of getting a lot mushier than it was. It's turning into sort of like a pesto, but not quite yet. And now we can move on to the parmesan. I'm just going to get a grater, just cut a bit of the parmesan. And then we can just grate this on top. I like it quite cheesy. There we go. Just stir this in. And we're not really going to bash it now. We're just going to muddle it, just like this. We just kind of do it on the sides. So it's nearly ready. We're just going to add some olive oil to make it a bit more loose. Enough. And then just bash it up a bit more to finish it up. So I think it's done, but we have to have a little taste before we think it's done, because it might be disgusting. Hopefully it's not, but you know. It's really good. Put that over there. So we're just going to serve up. There we go. Bring this back on. Use the spoon. I'm going to plate it up with a piece of toast over here that I'm going to get. Just here. Just use the back of the spoon to spread it on. I've got some mozzarella here. Just tear it up like that. Lovely jubbly. I've also got some basil here. Don't want too much on because it'll make it a bit too basil-y. So that's our piece of toast with our pesto, some basil and some mozzarella. Delicious. We've got some leftover pesto, so I'm going to go and take it to Dad and hopefully he can put some pasta later. Can't forget that.
I might not be cooking pasta, but what I do have is a dish I reckon everyone's going to properly enjoy.
I'm going to cook for my family the most brilliant but completely bonkers roast chicken dish. I am getting really excited at the moment about taking the everyday sort of ingredients like a roast chicken and just going to a different place. This chicken's going on holiday, right? We're going to do a makeover and we're going to Korea. And the way to get that to there is a nice little ingredient, kimchi, right? This is an incredible fermented pickle, really. And this is what's pretty much served in Korea with every meal in different ways, in broths, in dumplings, with rice dishes. It's full of spice. It's full of veg. And I'm going to use this in different ways. We're going to marinate it with a kimchi marinade. We're going to glaze it with a kimchi glaze. And then I'm going to use this kimchi also to dress like a whole load of vegetables to make the most beautiful rainbow slaw ever. So let's do it. Let's bring a little bit of sunshine into your life. So chicken, you can go aside for 1 minute. The kimchi, listen to it when I open it. And if If I put it down, you'll probably even start to see it sort of almost coming out the jar. It's actually moving. First up, I'm gonna put it into a liquidizer, 300 grams, and I'm gonna add some water. 100 mils goes in like that. I'm gonna take some ginger, a nice big fat thumb-sized piece of ginger, and I'll just trim it off like that. When you cut off the skin like this, you can dry it and make wonderful kind of dry ginger for teas, which is really, really nice. So that thumb-sized piece of ginger goes in here with the water, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a hit of olive oil and a swig of vinegar, red or white wine vinegar, and we're gonna whiz that up in here. Okay, so I've whizzed this up until it's really fine. Woo! Full of flavour. So I'm gonna use this in 3 ways. So 1/3 in this roasting tray as a marinade, right? And then over here, I'm gonna create a glaze. Just take 2 or 3 tablespoons of really nice honey. 1, 2. The honey turns this into a shiny, sticky, tacky glaze, and that will stick to the cooked chicken, and then we can kind of embellish it later. And then this last third, that will become the most incredible dressing for a beautiful rainbow slaw. Let's get the chicken cooking, because actually, if I wasn't yapping, putting this together is super quick, so let's do it. Chicken into the marinade. This is the time to earn your flavour. Get it in all the cracks and crannies, in between the little wings, around the legs, in the cavity. An amazing marinade. You could do it with fish, you could do it with prawns, you could do it with pork chops, right? It's got attitude. So let me just wash my hands. Okay, so at this stage in the game, that's going in the oven. Just put a little swig of water in. By adding the water to the tray, what I love about that is we're gonna get roasting happening on the top, and then that little bit of water creates steam. And steam and these beautiful fragrant flavours, I think, works really well to give you crispy skin and juicy breast meat. So the chicken goes in the oven, no matter what oven you're using, 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Halfway through, I'll take it out, I'll baste all the beautiful juices on top. I might add a little bit more water, and that's gonna be the most beautiful, succulent, crispy skin chicken ever. So the chicken's had about 1 hour of roasting. I've given it a nice little baste. I want to show you the next part of the story. First up, I'm going to toast some sesame seeds. By toasting, you're going to amplify flavour, and you're going to get more of a kind of nutty texture. So just put that on a high heat and just kind of toss it around like this. It doesn't take very long. Just a little bit of heat and a little bit of time. Look at that. And that makes a massive difference, not just in texture and how it looks, but also in how it tastes. Without question, watch the seeds while you're toasting them, because that and pine nuts and actual toast is the thing that I always forget and burn. Yep, you heard it right. So, in this same pan, I'm gonna do rice. Simple, nutty, fluffy rice. Get your reliable mug and fill it up with basmati rice. And if you do 1 mug to the top, flat, this is perfect for 4 to 6 people. And then 2 mugs of water, tiny little pinch of salt. Lid on top, medium-high heat, about 12 minutes, works every single time. By the time every bit of that water has absorbed into the rice is done, light, fresh, and nutty. That, with the gorgeous chicken, is gonna be amazing. Let's get this chicken, and let's get to business. Oh, just have a look at this lovely chicken. Wow, come on. So we've got beautiful crispy skin, we've got juicy meat, and we've got flavour happening from the inside and the outside. So let's take this beautiful chicken. You can always test if it's nice and cooked by angling the chicken and looking at the juices when it comes out. And if it runs clear, it's basically done. So I'm gonna go with the lovely glaze here, and I'm just gonna embellish. I wanna drip it everywhere. Come on. Now is the fun bit. You take your everyday chicken and you give it a proper makeover. So look, I love this bit because essentially I'm pebble dashing this lovely glazed chicken with sesame seeds. Every bit has got to be touched. No part of this chicken should be unbejeweled. Can you imagine how delicious that's going to be? Sumptuous chicken, crispy skin, glaze, tang, funk, spice, and then that hit of crunchy, like, gorgeous sesame seeds. So in this tray here, I have gnarly bits and sticky bits. What I want to do is take that last third of our kimchi sauce, and I'm going to take a pack of tofu. The silken tofu, really silky and gorgeous. I'll whiz it up, and that will become the most incredible dressing for a beautiful, crunchy, rainbow veg slaw. It's going to be amazing. The slaw, the rice, the chicken. Come on! So, this lovely dressing, I'll just have a little bit as a sauce, just to dip with. That in itself is delicious. The tofu gives it an amazing, gorgeous, silky texture. So we've got that into all these drippings. Now, what I'm gonna do is just add pre-prepped veg. So this is 2 packs from a supermarket. It's a fantastic little cheat, and look at the quality of the veg. So now just get your hands in and dress it up. Feel free to kind of scrunch it up because that breaks up any of the cabbages and kind of makes it take on the flavour and tenderizes it. If you've got any of those lovely sticky drippings, you can put that in there as well. You don't have to waste any of this. But look at the colours. And the rice is basically done. So let's plate it up. Fork up that rice. Fantastic, steamy, light rice. And then get a nice bowl of the slaw. Look at that. That is a roast chicken dinner like you've never seen before. Imagine putting that in front of your friends or family. It's completely bonkers. My lot are going to destroy it. They're going to love it. Look, I'm going to have a little cheeky taster. I know the flavours are going to be delicious. Oh, it's just unbelievable. So it's so juicy because we've given it that little kiss of water during the cooking and basting, and we've retained all those beautiful juices. That kimchi has been a flavour gift that has kept on going. Come on, let's get in there. Oh, it's so good. The chicken is so juicy, but yet that kind of glaze has got those sesame seeds that are actually crunching and popping in my mouth. River will go nuts about that chicken skin because it is so blooming tasty. And with the crunch of the slaw, texturally, it's just off the chart. It's got very gentle spice, ginger freshness, and then this just kind of undescribable, kind of big, exciting flavour. That is so good. I think my lot are going to love it.